Hey, hey, hey. Happy Wednesday. Tonight, I am going to dive in and present a live playthrough of, at least the first part of the live playthrough, of Adventure Games The Dungeon from KOSMOS Games. So come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So, tonight is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. This is episode 467 of The Daily Dope. So, do want to point out, strangely enough, YouTube changed up my stream key. So I had been streaming for about 15 minutes. And I thought, wow, this is really weird. I haven't had anybody in chat. No one's in chat at all. I mean, every once in a while we probably don't get many people watching live, but still, it's been a long time since I had no one watching live. And I was like, what's going on? And, I'm actually starting to get into looking at the rule book for the dungeon, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a look to see if this is another situation where every once in a while I'll be in chat and I see nothing, but then there are people watching live who are in almost like a separate chat, and that wasn't the case. And then I see there's no stream, and of course the software I stream with is saying, hey, you got a live stream going right now, and YouTube's showing nothing. So thanks a lot for changing the stream key on me, YouTube. It's like, geez, I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of funny. So I was streaming for 15 minutes and just to nothing. And yes, of course, now Pinky has had to come downstairs here and make her presence known. Hello, Pinky. At least she's not screaming like she's being murdered down here. Anyway, do want to say, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you of when the Daily Dope goes live Monday through Thursday nights, it'll also tell you when I upload standalone videos as well. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. If this is the first time you're tuning in, just want to point out this is a very, very casual show. Normally, I share the latest tabletop gaming news, but with the COVID-19 pandemic out there, news is kind of slight. Not a ton of news out there. And I thought, hey, it's kind of blow off a little steam, have a little fun. So recently, I have been doing some unboxings. I've been doing live playthroughs like I'm going to do tonight. And kind of just goofing around, having some fun. Do want to mention, because this is live, there is chat available on YouTube. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the stranger commenters at bay. But I do try my best to follow along with the chat. So if you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question or comment, by all means, please chime in. And of course, I do notice that Flaming Huron is in chat, so the stream is actually going out there now. I don't know. Anyway, as I mentioned in the open, we are going to jump into actually playing Adventure Games The Dungeon in just a moment. Do want to take just a moment here to once again thank all the folks out there who are, many of them putting their lives on the line in order to keep our supply chains open and to protect us and to save many of our loved ones. So a big thank you to all the doctors and nurses, the police officers, firefighters, EMTs. We're talking truck drivers, people who are, working in big box stores, trying to, stocking our shelves and checking us out, even folks in fast food places. So we have carry-out meals we can take. And of course, even those who are delivering meals. Thank you to all those folks out there who are going the extra mile, and they're putting themselves in jeopardy as well. So if you are currently in a location that's supposed to be sheltering in place or stay at home, please do so. I am here in Illinois. So, and I believe this is, I think this is night 20. I'll have to take a peek. I think it's night 20. All right. Without further ado, let's jump on in because we're taking a look at adventure games The Dungeon, which is from KOSMOS Games. It's designed by Phil Walker Harding and Matthew Dunstan, with artwork provided by Martin Hoffman. The game is for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, and it plays out in 3 approximately 90-minute chapters. The Dungeon is available right now. It does carry an MSRP of $19.95. We're going to switch on over to the other camera, Boom, which a little while ago, I had a box here that had shrink wrap on it. I was took the shrink wrap off, started taking a look at the game, and then I was like, hey, there's no stream going on. So I will share the info off the back of the box here. It says you wake up in a dank dungeon. It seems impossible to find your way out, especially since none of you can remember what brought you there. Similar to a PC adventure game, players have to explore spaces, combine items, find clues, and talk to people. Step by step, you'll start to grasp the plot and devise a plan to escape. Leave no stone unturned. Exciting to the very end. A board game with simple rules in 3 chapters for players 12 and older. Currently, there are 2 adventure games titles out there. There's The Dungeon, and then there is Monochrome Inc., which is actually for ages 16 and up. And I know there's at least one new adventure games title that is coming out later this year as well. So I started taking stuff out of the box. I actually even took the decks out of their shrink wrap as well. So we have an adventure book because this is along the lines, I should say, of one of those choose your own adventure sorts of games. So we've got an adventure book here. We got a rule book. We've got some room cards, which I guess we'll flip over and take a look at those. We do have a deck of adventure cards. So we've got 83 adventure cards. We've got some character cards. I think these are health cards. Yep, so we got a bunch of those. Turn overview cards. Let me get into A1. So we may have to separate a bunch of these out into different decks. One thing I will mention, if you did watch my live playthrough of the exit game House of Riddles, you can replay these. The adventure games. You are not destroying any items. You're not cutting anything up. And I believe there are multiple endings to these as well. So we also have some meeples here. And unfortunately, I see that the red meeple has a broken leg. The leg has broken off. So I will be gluing that on. But these represents the 4 characters. And let's take a peek here at the rules. I will zoom back out once we have to set everything up. So we place the room cards, adventure cards, mission cards, and ending cards in face down stacks. Okay, so E is ending cards. Okay, so we're going to go A cards. So we've got 3. So I think these are the chapters. Because remember I mentioned that we've got 3 90-minute chapters. So those are the chapters. These are endings, right? So we got 5 different endings. 10, 11. Yeah, so I think Yep. So these cards go through from 10 to 92. I'll put these up there. Okay, so it says make sure the room cards and adventure cards are sorted according to their letters and numbers respectively. Did that. Take room card A from the room card stack and place it face up in the middle of the table. Boom, right there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, great. So we all wake up and we've got someone who no doubt had been there for quite a long time before us. So, what else we got here? Each player should now choose one of the game characters. Okay, solo game. It's also possible to play the game alone. In this case, you need to play with 2 or more characters simultaneously. You can choose which 2 you want to play. All right, so what do we got here? So we've got Cassandra, we have Arif. So we have the attentive, the knowledgeable, the skilled, and the strong. Well, let's go the skilled and the strong. We'll leave the knowledgeable and the attentive out. So we will take these 2 characters here you're playing with. It's a cooperative game. Discuss with your team what you want to do. At the end of each chapter and at the end of the game, scoring takes place. However, the score you achieve does not affect the story. Keep a sheet of paper and a pen handy to take notes. Oh, great. Never have scratch paper down here in the Duct Tape Studios. Hey, a great day is popping into chat saying, oh, look, stuff is happening. Yes, because YouTube changed the stream key for me, I was streaming for 15 minutes without realizing that the stream wasn't even going out. And my software was like, oh yeah, good stream, everything's good, no drop frames, everything's all right. Yeah, so how that went. All right, so you're going to move a character or figure, take 1 action. Anytime you can exchange adventure cards, then it's the next player's turn. So you can move your character figure to any location within an already face-up room. There's no limit to the extent of your movement. The only condition is that the room needs to have already been revealed, so it is face-up on the table. New rooms can be revealed through instructions in the adventure book. Do not place your character figures directly on top of the location numbers. Instead, place them right next to the location numbers. Okay, got it. Take 1 action. So we can explore a location number, which I assume we're reading in the book here. Combine 2 adventure cards with each other, or combine an adventure card with a location. So exploring a location number, every location has 3-digit numbers right here, as we can see. I will zoom in, we'll get a closer look at these as well. And if you want to explore the location next to your character figure, read aloud the entry in the adventure book found after the 3-digit number for the location. You will receive additional information, learn more about the story, or receive new adventure cards. If you would rather have the text read to you, then select the game in the KOSMOS Helper app and enter the 3-digit number. So yes, there is a helper app. I noticed that KOSMOS has an app that you can utilize it for the exit games as well. So rules for cards. Some entries will require you to draw adventure cards or discard them. If you are told to take 1 or more adventure cards from the adventure card stack, then take them and place them face up in front of you. Once they tell you different, part of your inventory. Put an adventure card back into the adventure card stack, then return it face down in the original position in the adventure card stack. Return 1 or more adventure cards to the box. So I guess those are removed from play. Combine 2 adventure cards with each other. In some locations, you will receive adventure cards. You can and must combine these with other specific adventure cards or specific locations during the course of the game. Sometimes it'll be obvious what goes together, and sometimes it will not. If you want to combine 2 adventure cards with each other, it does not matter what location you are standing in. That's cool. So none of this, oh, I got to keep moving back and forth and things like that. Okay, so it says combine 1 adventure card with another adventure card or location. You need to combine their numbers. Take a look at the numbers. On the adventure cards, the 2-digit number is shown in the top left corner. Locations are marked by a 3-digit location number. The smaller of the two numbers comes first, followed by the larger number. Combined, they yield a new 4 or 5-digit number. Okay, all right, got that. Health. At the beginning of the game, every player has a certain number of health cards. So we're playing like 2-player. I could do 4, but it doesn't really matter. So we're going to get 6 each for our characters here. During the game, it will occur that you lose health points. Every time you lose 1 health point, you turn one of your health cards over so the gray backside faces up. Got it. So let's see. There you go. So Akura is strong. There's his 6. Put him under there. And Hakura the skilled. There you go. There are possibilities to heal during the game. So let's see. It says if you only have 1 health card left, and that card already has a gray side facing you, or facing up, and you are supposed to lose 1 health point, then the player to your left loses 1 health point. Imagine that character throwing himself or herself in front of your character to protect your character from the peril. So it says you can never lose your last health card. Okie dokie. Saving game. In order to save the game, use your smartphone to take a picture of the current room setup and adventure cards in your possession. I'm just going to leave it set up. That's all I'm going to do. So, Dad from No Enemies here has popped in. He's like, hey, sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Dad. I was streaming for 15 minutes. And YouTube wasn't sharing it because YouTube changed up the stream key on me. And of course, I had no idea. It's like, blah, yada. Okay, you know what? We'll probably end up having to zoom out as we get more rooms here. So, last thing. Game takes place in 3 chapters. At the end of the 3rd chapter, you'll find out how the story ends. Then determine your score. There's an overview in the rule book. Okay, game begins. Now you know everything you need to start the game. Place all your character figures on room card A and read entry 100 on page 5 of the adventure book. Okay, so we've got Busted Leg Orko, Koro, I should say. So there we go. Mr. Busted Leg. Ah! You know, that's funny. I have actually never seen a broken meeple before. Especially, well, this one's made out of wood, but that's kind of weird. All right, so we got red and green. Okay. 8 Comics is popping out. Oh, here we go. Looks like we gotta boot somebody out. Here we go. All right. That'll be the last of that. Boom. Goodbye. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Hey, you know what? We have actually been pretty lucky. We have not had a bunch of dickheads pop in on chat. So, one of these days, you know what? Here, I'm going to do this real quick. Because I believe Flaming Huron and the Madman have both in the past said, yeah, if you need a moderator, I'll moderate. So I'm going to add Flaming Huron as a moderator if need be. So, thank you kindly. All right, so we were going to jump in and we were going to take a look at 100 on page 5. Jeez. What is this? D&D read aloud? So, you wake up from an uneasy sleep and search around in the dark, your eyes wide open. You still have goosebumps all over your body. Weren't you just walking through a torch-lit stone passageway? And then there was a noise. Or was it a scream? That's what woke you. Now all is quiet again. Almost. For you can hear a sound too quiet to pinpoint its location, yet loud enough to be disconcerting. How did I even end up here, you ask yourself. Trying to remember what makes your head hurt, though. So you decide to take a look around you first. In the moonlight streaming in through the barred window, you slowly begin to make out details. You're lying on the stone floor of a dirty cell. A dungeon? You quickly look back to the window. Indeed, it is barricaded with solid iron bars. Feeling apprehensive, you take another look around. You can make out several shapeless shadows on the floor. Yellowish light flickers under the door, probably from a torch on the other side. There, didn't one of the shadows just move? It's another human. Then you hear a voice. Where am I? What happened? This is followed by a groan. Sounds like someone else can't remember either. Voice sounds familiar, but your head starts to hurt again when you try to think who it might be. Slowly but surely. Stop calling me Shirley. The others begin to wake up. Well, we only have one other. You don't remember anything, but one name remains clear in your foggy brain. Berengar. Is a friend? Maybe he's locked up somewhere within these walls too. You resolve to find out what happened to you, who imprisoned you here, and above all, how to escape this dungeon. Take mission card 1A, read entry A on page 2. All right, so we've got, let's just make sure that everything is in focus here. So A1, escape. Let's move those cards up there. Because these are the ending cards. We don't need these. It's old one leg, says Flaming Huron. Yep, it's old one leg Okoro. I have the impression this is supposed to be maybe set in during the Renaissance, Middle Ages, something like that. This is not modern. All right, so escape. You want nothing more than to escape this dark dungeon. Find the exit. Be on your guard, though. Who knows what else is hidden within these walls. So we're going to read entry A. So we got room cards. As you look around the cell, a huge locked wooden door with several scratches in it immediately catches your eye. In front of it, there is a grating. There is a grating in the floor? Well, I would think it'd be grating in the floor. On the bunk, you see a box, and beneath it, something may be hidden in the shadows. A brick juts out of the wall to your left, while a skeleton clad in heavy iron chains hangs to your right. Moonlight floods into the cell through a barred window. So we can look at any of these here. So I think the first thing we'll take a look at is we'll use Okoro to take a look at the box. So that's 701. On the bunk is a small metal box. Unfortunately, it's locked and there's no keyhole. At first glance, you can't see a way to open it. So, no opportunity for us to pick it up. All right, so we'll have Hakura, the skilled. I wonder if they have any sort of, this guy is strong, so he gets to, defeat strength-based challenges or something like that. So we'll have Hakura take a look underneath that cot or whatever it's supposed to be, your bed. That's 601. You reach under the bunk and feel something small and metallic in the dark. Take adventure card 13. How much you want to bet it's the key? Taking a guess. Flipping that over. A bronze key. So we have a small bronze key. So I'm taking a stab here. So remember I was telling us that we can combine items with location numbers. So that would be 13701. So that will be his action. And I guess we don't really have to say what action, who's doing what. It's just me playing. So let's go to 13701. Does not exist. Wait, no it does. It's a 5-digit number. I was looking at the wrong thing. The metal, the metal box doesn't have a keyhole. Nice. So we got a small bronze key. I wonder if the small bronze key will get us out the door. Okay, so let's look out the window and see what's going on out the window here. So we'll look at 801. The bunk creaks as you stand on it to examine the window. The bars are too close together to squeeze through. When you rattle them, you notice that one of the iron bars is loose, though. Take adventure card 11. Great, we're going to be able to use that to, like, bash people in the head. Does the key have a lock, though? Box, rather. Says Flaming Hero. All right, number 11. An iron bar. Look at that. I was kind of joking about using it to smack people upside the head, but now we got an iron bar. So let's look at the wall, 501. Who knows what the loose brick might be useful for? Take adventure card 10. So now we also have a brick. An old brick with a hole in its center. Well, we can probably put the brick and the iron bar together and create a mace. Should we look? Should we look for 1011? See if it exists? Let's take a look. 1011. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to combine the brick and the iron bar to make, I guess, kind of like a mace. 1011. The iron bar fits in the hole in the brick almost perfectly. This makeshift hammer, there we go, will surely have some power behind it. Return adventure cards 10 and 11 to the box. Take adventure card 12. All right, so there we go. We got our bronze key. Now we have the makeshift hammer. So Flaming Heron's asking, how many alternates exist? As far as I understand, there are 5. We've got them right here. We got 5 ending cards. So we've got different endings. That's why if we look at the back of the box, the replayability value is actually 3 out of 5. Whereas the exit games, as we already saw when I did the playthrough of the exit, the House of Riddles, that once you play it, that's it. It's one and done because you're cutting stuff up, you're tearing things apart. So these will go back into the box. All right. This is kind of interesting. This is a little interesting here. Okay, so we made the makeshift hammer. We looked at the brick. Let's look at the skeleton there. He's undead. He attacks us, and we have to use our makeshift hammer to fight him off. But thankfully, it would be a blunt weapon, so we would be able to do full damage as opposed to like cutting weapons against skeletons. Don't work too well. All right, so 301. A creepy skeleton is all that remains of this prisoner. His arms are still chained to the wall with bronze shackles. I wonder if we could unlock the shackles. But then again, why would we want to do? What are we going to bring him with? Since he won't be needing his belongings anymore, you decide to search the half-rotten tunic that still hangs from his chest. Groping around, you manage to locate a pocket. Do you want to reach inside? If so, take adventure card 15. I don't know. That almost seems to me like it's kind of teasing us. Do you want to reach in? Because maybe there's a rat in the pocket there. What the hell? Might as well. Adventure card 15 is a coin. Great for buying stuff. Well, once we find the dungeon store, I guess we could cash that in. So we got our makeshift hammer. We've got our coin. We got our bronze key. Let's take a look at the grate on the floor, 401. It looks like the iron grating in the floor runs into a drain. You try lifting it out, but it's heavier than it looks and won't budge. For an instant, you think you can see something glittering far below. You're not sure whether your arm is long enough to reach it, though. Do you want to try anyway? If so, read entry 122. I don't know. I don't know about reaching out into drains, but might as well keep moving along here. 122. You feel around with your hand. There's something moving. Knew it. In a flash, a snake. A snake? I was thinking a rat. A snake wraps itself around your arm and sinks its fangs in. You withdraw your arm in fright, which causes the snake to fall off and disappear back into the sewer. That certainly wasn't what was glittering. You'll need something longer to reach it. You lose 1 health point. Why I oughta. Alright, so we're gonna take one of these, flip it on over. So 1 health point lost. So that was the great. Let's look at 201 and then 101. Looking at the door. 201. The upper half of the door is more damaged than you first thought. If you were to hit it with something sufficiently hard, oh, I don't know, possibly a makeshift hammer? You might be able to break it. All right, so before we do that, let's take a look at 101. We'll take a look at the last item on here. The iron lock can only be opened with the right key. Well, I don't think the bronze key is going to work on the door. I would almost think that but why would they put the key to the shackles in the same room? Flaming Heron says, that's one strong brick if it breaks down a door. Right. But supposedly the door is in bad shape. So if we hit it with a hammer, it'll come down. Could we like throw ourselves at it too and bring it down? So we're going to use 12 and 201. So we're going to look at 12, 201. You repeatedly swing your makeshift hammer with all your might. Smash it down on a weak spot in the door. The wood splinters after a few strokes, and soon the gap is wide enough for you to squeeze through. Your tool is no good for anything anymore. Rats, boo! We were really starting to become attached to that makeshift hammer. Jeez. Return adventure card 12 to the box. Okay, so that's gone. Place room card C to the right of room card A and read entry 901. So this is where we're going to end up having to start like kind of zooming out a little bit as we go along. So we're now going to kind of move these guys around here because I think there's 18 rooms. So, oh, whoops, that was not, we're supposed to take room C, not B. Dummy. And then we're supposed to look at 901. This is kind of fun. This is kind of interesting. And of course, having played so many, point and click adventure games over the years from like Sierra and all the various other like King's Quest and they did some Indiana Jones games from LucasArts. This might not be so bad to figure out. Okay, 901. With a queasy feeling in your stomach, you peek through the hole in the door. There can't be any guards around, or else they would have heard you trying to break out. With a sigh of release, you realize that the coast is clear and you can't see anyone in the torchlight. Place your character figure on room card C and read entry C. He's going to hobble out there without his one leg. All right, so let's bring our 2 adventurers out. So I see we've got some levers here. There's our broken door that we just smashed down. So we've got some doors here. We got some stairs going up. A couple doors there as well. Okay, so let's see what C tells us. You find yourself standing in a hallway with 4 more doors. 2 have golden locks. 105 and 205. One of the doors is open. Well, isn't that convenient? A sign hangs above the doorway to your far right. A symbol has been etched into the wall above the stairway leading up between the doors. There are 3 levers sunk into the floor. All right, so first off, why don't we take a look to see what's behind the open door? That's 305. The door to the second cell is unlocked. You notice some melted metal on the floor in front of it. Oh, yeah, there is actually something kind of laying there. Are these maybe the remains of the lock? That must mean that someone else has escaped too. Unsurprisingly, you find that there's nothing left in the cell of any value. It's a cell in a dungeon. What would be of value? So Flaming Heron says, wow, this seems more in depth than I first thought. Makes me want to bust out some of my own game books. There you go. There you have it. All right, so that was 305. Let's look at 105. See what we got here. The first door has a little barred opening and a golden lock. Does anyone have adventure card 74? If so, which we don't, read entry 522. Otherwise, read entry 544. Alrighty, moving right along. When you look through the bars in the door, you see a very old man with a beard leaning back against the cell wall. You clear your throat quietly so that he notices you. He turns slowly to look at you. Well, what do we have here? You don't look like a guard to me. Then my congratulations on your escape. Then he grins at you. Curious, you ask him, how long have you been down here? He considers for a moment. I've long since stopped counting the years. When I first arrived here, I was still young and had a full head of hair. But that was a long time ago. I've been working in these mines ever since, digging up stones and earth day in, day out. But where are my manners? I'm Monty. It's Monty Hall. It's a pleasure to meet you. His smile reminds you a little of your friend Berengar, and you return Monty's warm greeting. Say, Monty, do you happen to know what's beyond the stairs? He frowns. I'm afraid not. All I know is that it's apparently very dangerous, as the guards mentioned a trap. So I'd be careful if I were you. Come on, man, this guy's been here for years. And he goes down to the mines, and he doesn't know what's up the stairs? Alrighty. Okay. Says take adventure card 81 and read it out loud. Monty murders us as we're sitting there. A friendly conversation. Monty appears to mean you no harm. Thus, you decide to call in the others. Place all character figures on room card C. Oh, we were already there. As you arrive, his smile widens. A rare sight to see this many friendly faces down here. Well, let's see. What can I give you? Who will accept his offering? A Koro? Or Haruka? You know what? She ended up getting bit by the snake. So let's I'm gonna move this out just a little bit so we can once again see all this stuff. Okay, so we're gonna let her get something here. So it says read entry 255. Monty moves closer and closer to your face until his clouded eyes widen with surprise. Yolanda! How wonderful to see you here, my darling daughter. Here, I have something for you. Does he think you are Yolanda? His eyesight can't be that bad, can it? But he seems so happy now. Why disappoint him? Take adventure card 73. If it was 74, we could use the other door. There's 73. And we return this one to the box now that the conversation is over. A lucky charm. Free action. If the entry says that you lose health points, you can use this lucky charm. Then you won't lose any health points. However, the other consequences of the entry stay true. Then return this adventure card to the box. All right. So we've got a coin, lucky charm, and a bronze key. So that is it for talking with Monty. And I think we'll look at 2 more entries and then we will wrap up. I started, I actually started the stream right on time, but just not this stream, right? Okay. Anyway, so we looked at 105, we looked at 305. Let's look at the other door. I don't necessarily want to be messing around with these levers, or as some folks like to say, levers, just yet. So 205. Just like the first cell door, the second also has a little barred opening and a golden lock. Do you have adventure card 75? If so, then read entry 522. Otherwise, read entry 644. Alright, come on. A prisoner's face appears in the opening. "Hey, you!" he hisses. "Please help me get out of here." You reply apologetically, "I'm sorry, but I don't have a key for this lock." "Damn! I'm gonna rot away here." "Don't despair. Maybe there's another way to get you out. What do you know about the dungeon?" He thinks for a moment. "Not much. Like most of the other prisoners, I work in the mines." So what do they magically just transport from their cell to the mine? He becomes more animated. "If the guards have gone, you may find 1 or 2 gemstones with a little luck. If you get me out of here, I can tell you a thing or two about them. I used to be a jeweler, you know." Your eyes flick to the sign above the stairs. "What's that strange symbol?" He's quiet for a moment and then says with amusement, "Why, it's the emblem of the League of Guardians. Don't tell me you don't know that. Then you can't have been imprisoned here for very long. They kidnapped us, locked us up, and forced us into slave labor." "Oh, I see," you say with a nod. Before you turn away, he gives you an urgent look. "If you can't free me, then could you at least get me a strong drink? I'll give you something that belonged to the League of Guardians for it." Okay, so we know if we run across cards 74 and 75, we can open these up. And we'll try to remember that the guy behind 205 is looking for a strong drink. All right, one more. Let's look at 805. Which is this other door here. The sign above the doorway says, "Guards Quarters." You gingerly try the handle and find that the door is unlocked. You listen out briefly for sounds, but can't hear anything. "I wonder what's in here." Do you want to open the door quietly and take a look inside? If so, then read entry 141. Or do you want to rush into the room ready for battle? Yes, with our bare fists. If so, then read entry 156. Alternatively, you can retreat quietly. I don't know. I think we'll leave that door alone for just this moment. So the only thing we've got left are we have the levers here, and we also have the stairs going up. So that is what's left in this room here. And that is where we will pick up when we continue the playthrough tomorrow night. So, I don't know. Personally, I find this kind of entertaining. I don't know how entertaining it is to watch it. And to be listening to me talking about it. Reading the entries out of the book. So, hey, what can I tell you? All right. So we will pick up chapter 2 tomorrow night. There we go. Well, hey, at least we got the stream going. So Flaming Huron's like, cool. Look forward to next time then. Yes, so we will pick up what's going on. You know, like I said, I think it's kind of fun. But then again, I was always a big fan of adventure games on PCs and things like that. All right. Anyway, as I always like to point out, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to the channel. If you do, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you when the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursday nights, it'll also tell you when I upload standalone videos, which I do quite often. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Do want to point out, there are some cool freebies that I posted today, including for those out there who are into historical games, or you paint historical miniatures, or if you're just into history, you already know who Osprey Publishing is. Every week, now I don't know how long they're going to do this. This is the third week. I was not aware of them doing this until today, because this started the third week. They're actually giving away 5 free PDFs, and they're specific PDF books, and they're just like the regular Osprey books. So they're giving away like $80 worth of history PDFs, and a very interesting mix. So definitely check it out. I have all the information in a post over at thegaminggang.com, plus some other freebies as well that you can get your hands on, including some print and play from Asmodee. Anyway, if you are watching live tonight, thank you so much for hanging out with me, especially with the oddball stream deal. I'm glad I looked to see what was going on. Otherwise, I'd have just kept doing the stream all through and not realized it was not streaming live. Anyway, well, take care of that. We know we'll be fine tomorrow. Anyway, speaking of tomorrow, of course, I will be back then. And if you watch live, thank you very much. If you watch after the fact, I definitely appreciate that as well. So everybody enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night / Thursday morning, because I know we have some folks across the pond who enjoy the show, get their day started. I will be back tomorrow. So until then, be sure to be smart and stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.